Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, welcome back. You're back in the No Comfort Zone with Dan. I'm so glad that you're here and that you join me for your daily dose of motivation and inspiration through success and failure in the No Comfort Zone. Yesterday, I decided to bring some people in to do a little bit of sales training. So the sales training was in relationship to month beginning, where you're currently at, and where do you want to go? What are you going to do for the entire month? And this is relative to your personal life. And it's really important that you know where you're at. All too often what I'm finding out is that people just come and go through the motions. And when you come and go through the motions, it comes up or some adversity strikes or objections happen or obstacles get in the way. What ends up happening is people just stop. And a distraction happens and then they go a different way. There's no real intensity or urgency to keep going in that forward momentum, that forward direction when you have momentum to get to the end result. You go through it. I personally go through it. I know a lot of people that go through it, but really what happens is when goals become your lifeblood, things just seem to come your way. I don't know how to put it any other way than that. Kevin Hart's new book, the one that's currently out right now, it talks about it. Darren Hardy from Success Magazine, also the Compound Effect, he talks about it as well. I learned a new term, active procrastination. I learned it from Darren Hardy. It's when you have all the intention in the world to get something done, you feel good about whatever you're involved in, but for whatever reason, you just don't take the necessary actions. And then those necessary actions, you wind up, you know what? It doesn't feel really good anymore. So you go look for another self-help book or you'll go look for another opportunity and you feel good about that and you keep dodging until you keep feeling that I feel good about it, but you don't take any action. And it comes down to a plan. So yesterday was all about coming up with a plan. What do you want in a month's time? What do you really want? And once you know what, well then, why do you want that? And then how are you going to do it? It's the same simple. And when you use those same questions, when you talk to a customer, when you talk to a manager, those are the questions that should be relevant. And I guess the big takeaway from yesterday is that the people that showed up for it, because it was a half an hour early, the people that showed up for it are the ones that I think that are really engaged and really willing to put it out there. And my job as the leader, the manager, the trainer is to encourage more people to come, to get them engaged. Because I think the stats out there, only 25% of the employees are engaged and another 30% have something major negatively affecting them in their lives. And now you think about the pandemic that was or is or whatever's going on with that. You think about the rioting that's going on and the looting and all the negative social media. You think about all these things that are happening and it can affect you. So, do I think about them? I try not to. I try not to get distracted by that, but it's hard because it's everywhere. So at the end, what I do is I just focus on where do I want to go? I know what the mission is and where I'd like to get to, and I need everyone's help to do that. My job is to get everybody on the same page. And the best way to do that, I know, is through training. Going over the knowledge that somebody needs to do something, going over the attitude they need to have, whether it's a good learning attitude, a great selling attitude, just a good positive attitude, or an encouraging attitude, or a good listening attitude, whatever attitude that is. Developing the skills necessary to communicate effectively towards persuading people to do what it is exactly they wanted to do in the first place. And then lastly is the habits. And that's through the repetition. That's where the real training comes in. All the rest of it's talking and showing and doing, but where the habits develop is when the training really begins. Developing those habits, getting rid of the bad habits. And that's part of the blueprint as well. The knowledge, the attitude, the skills, and the habits. So I know as a trainer, I know as a leader, I know as if I focus on the cash system, knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits, I know I'm going to get a return on that cash. I know I'll get a return. And the greater good is I'm going to develop some human beings along the way to be better at what it is they want to do in the first place to help them get what they want. So I put it on your shoulders now. What do you want? And that's how I've started every training class since the beginning, since I started doing it. I think in 2001 is when I did my first training. It might have been 99. I'm not sure. I've been doing it a long time though. But the first question I ask is, what do you want? Why do you want it? How's that going to make you feel? What's that going to do for you in the long run? Is that aligned with who you are as a person? And then I have to let everybody know that I believe in them. Now let's put together a game plan. And what obstacles do you think you're going to face? And what time do you want to start? And what time do you want to end to get your goal? Where is all that? Where's all the details? Because like Tony Robbins has said time and time again, clarity is, in fact, power. Clarity is power. It's knowledge applied. That's power as well. You can have all the knowledge in the world. And I know so many people that know so much about so many things, but they don't apply it. And they get in their coffee huddles, or they get in their rumor mills, or they critique Facebook. They get on there and they make comments on Facebook. And really, what are they showing their knowledge? Because that applying the knowledge is really the key for people to take action, to make decisions and take action, and produce an outcome that benefits everyone. And that's truly what happens at the end of a sale. Now think about that when it comes to your relationship. Think about that when it comes to your relationship with your kids. Everyone's selling all the time. Son wants a new bike. Do you get him a new bike? Well, there's a give and take there. Do you need a bike? Do you want a bike? What is the equipment on the bike? Why do you want a bike? What are you going to do with the bike? What's it going to do for you? What's the emotional reason that you want a bike? And it always comes down to that, no matter what. Once you can find out what that emotional wound is, what will end up happening is the greater good, the truth will come up, whatever that is. And that emotional wound is, sometimes people put salt in it, and good salesperson is going to come up with a Band-Aid. Marketing is the one that actually puts the salt in it. Are you feeling this way? Are you feeling that way? Is this happening to you? Whatever the drug commercials say, feeling depressed, feeling anxiety. Well, this pill can do this. And they align with the customer. And then all of a sudden they say, well, this pill will help. And there's the Band-Aid. But the truth be told is the Band-Aid is the therapy. The Band-Aid is really going off on a tangent here, but you really want to be cured. You don't just want a Band-Aid. So a real good sales transaction is not just a Band-Aid. It's actually a complete fix. And I'm going to be I have a transaction I'm dealing with today, and I'll be comparing and contrasting. We have 3 different things we're going to be looking at today: a good, better, and best. And it's going to be an interesting how I use the skills that I've learned over the years to work with this very aggressive customer to figure out and make a deal with him today. And the sales training that I did yesterday is going to help me today. And even though I'm the trainer, I'm still learning even when I train. I heard people say that. I hear trainers say that. I learn more from the audience. And it's true. I have. I couldn't understand it when I was in the audience. Well, you're supposed to know everything, but I totally get it now. There is another dynamic that happens when you start teaching. So really, if all I come across to you is that it's probably a good time to train your people, probably train your kids, probably train your wife, if it's probably that time period to educate them how to communicate with you so that the greater good can be served, well, then do it. If you need help with that, I sure can. Go to the NoComfortZone.com. If you want to start up a dialogue, go to that NoComfortZone.com. Team Facebook, but also too is you can email me directly at dan@thenocomfortzone.com or find me on social media at the end of the podcast. So anyway, I hope you're doing well, and I hope this podcast served you in some way, shape, or form. Hit me up with a review on Apple iTunes. I'd greatly appreciate it. I need them. My goal is to get to 200. I think I've got 7. So help me with that. I'd love to have a bunch of reviews. If you enjoy the show from wherever you're at in the world, I would really love for you to announce that. Let me know that you're listening. I really appreciate it. I would greatly love to hear that. And more importantly, I do believe in you. And I believe that if you have goals in front of you, I believe if you apply the knowledge of the No Comfort Zone blueprint, the method of success and failure, I really truly believe that you'll start to attain the things that you want in life. And it's never too late to start getting out of your comfort zone and living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.